In some families, there is always one person who becomes the steady point. Not the loud one, not the leader, but the one everyone leans on without thinking. Over time, this person stops noticing how often they adjust their own life to make space for others. It does not feel like sacrifice at first. It feels like being useful, being needed, being good. Lina was 40 and lived in a small coastal town where most people knew each other as routines. She shared a modest house with her widowed mother and two younger relatives who were still finding their footing. Lina ran a small sari-sari style shop attached to the front of the house. It opened early, closed late, and rarely felt finished. Neighbors dropped by not only to buy rice or soap, but to talk, ask favors, or borrow small amounts they promised to return. Lina was known for being kind. She extended credit when she could. She watched the shop when someone needed to step away. She listened to stories she had heard many times before. When relatives needed money, she found a way to stretch what little she had saved. She told herself this was normal. This was family. This was community. Most days blurred together. She woke before sunrise, swept the front of the house, opened the shop, and spent the day moving between customers, cooking, and household tasks. In the evenings, when the street quieted and the lights dimmed, Lina felt tired in a way that reached beyond her body. She rarely complained. Complaining felt ungrateful. One afternoon, after closing the shop for lunch, Lina sat alone at the small table near the window. She had counted her earnings and noticed, not for the first time, how little remained after covering everyone else's needs. As she sat there, a neighbor called out from the gate, asking if Lina could keep the shop open a bit longer that night so she could run an errand. It was a small request, familiar, easy to agree to. Lina opened her mouth to say yes, and stopped. She felt something unfamiliar, not anger, not resentment, but a quiet resistance. A sense that if she agreed this time, she would feel it later. The neighbor waited, already smiling, already assuming. "I'll have to close on time today," Lina said softly. "I'm tired." The word surprised her as much as anyone else. There was no explanation, no apology, just the truth. The neighbor nodded, a little confused, and said she understood. She walked away without complaint. The street returned to its usual sounds. Nothing dramatic happened. No one argued. No relationship broke. But Lina's hands trembled slightly as she locked the shop that evening. She felt relief and guilt at the same time. Relief, because she had protected something small but important. Guilt, because she was not used to choosing herself without permission. That night, Lina sat on the steps outside her house and listened to the waves in the distance. She thought about how often she had said yes out of habit, not generosity. How often she had confused being needed with being valued. She realized that saying no once did not make her unkind. It made her honest. Over the following weeks, Lina did not change her life all at once. She still helped when she could. She still cared deeply for her family and neighbors. But she began to notice her limits. She closed the shop when she said she would. She stopped offering explanations for every boundary. Each small no made space for a quieter yes to herself. People adjusted. Some were surprised. Most accepted it without fuss. The world did not collapse. What changed was Lina's sense of peace. She slept better. She felt less tight inside. She began to understand that self-respect did not require confrontation. It required consistency. And maybe that is the quiet lesson in her story. Protecting your time and energy does not always look bold or dramatic. Sometimes it looks like a simple sentence spoken gently, without defense. Saying no does not take kindness away. It teaches it where to rest.